Thank you so much. The first time I was thinking about this skill versus job descriptions, I was in a team where a team member came up to me and said, I want to be an architect. I don't know if he was watching Matrix before talking to me, but he was telling me like, I want to be an architect. And that that gave me like mixed feelings. Like you wanna become an architect or you wanna work with software architecture. What is the thing? What are we talking about here? Like you want to dress in white? Where's the purpose of your question or your request? Let's say that. And and that was kind of one of the times I was thinking about: are you playing a job description, or are you playing or bringing up your skills to the game? So that was one of the things I was thinking about at the time. And um, and before that, I always thought about my career as me building skills and thinking about things I wanted to do, other than what's gonna be my name on my card, or how can I spell what I do on LinkedIn or something like that. So I there was a time where my title was a CTO. But for a long time, I was just telling I'm from the development team. Just say I'm a software developer and that's what I do. It's at this moment I play the CTO role and that's what I do. But at the basics, I'm a software developer. So I was thinking about this process where why we are always thinking about job descriptions and we tend to go to bigger job descriptions, or that supposedly we're gonna have more responsibility. But if you look at the minimalists, I believe most job descriptions as we grow, some of them are just clutter. It's just noise, and you don't actually learn new stuff. You just have more things to care about, and you are not actually learning anything. But you tell yourself you have more responsibility. You tell yourself your scope is bigger. You tell yourself that the money is gonna be better, and you're gonna have a life that you never asked for. You're gonna do, or So I start to thinking about how can we change the game from instead of I fit in this job description to I belong in this company first. So to understand that I can work in a company where I can do different sorts of things, and I have my skills available to play in different projects. So this is where I want to go with you today. So I think all the time about projects. Everything I do in my life, it's based on projects. When I think about one specific project, I want to check skills. What skills I have to focus on, that I have to deliver in this project. What are the skills that I don't want to touch it? There are some projects I play with that are, oh, Daniel, you know how to do that, right? Yeah, but in this project, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to learn about this role. I want to learn about this. I want to get better in this specific skill. So in this case, I suggest we go for this person. So because she wants to learn this skill, and I can help her, but I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the one who does this kind of job. And the way I play in projects is always thinking about myself as what skills do I want to learn? What are the new skills I want to develop, or things like that. I remember at the end of 2019, before the pandemic, I wanted to become better at online lectures or online events. And so I do what I do when I need to learn new stuff. I do a lot of that. So I started doing presentations and trainings online, um, that actually were not like a Zoom call or a Google Meet. It's more like bringing the experience from the physical events to online events. Um, and so I started doing that a lot during 2020 because of the pandemic. So I used that opportunity to stay at home, safe, and start doing more of that. So there were times that I was doing like 4 or 5 lives per week, um, trying new stuff, trying to present slides, trying to not use anything, trying to present from my cell phone, trying to use only 4G. I start doing different things because I wanted to practice this process. Um, and so every project is kind of that could be a project like launch a new educational program, launch a new training, launch a new startup, or even learning a new skill. So I consider those projects, and I try to understand how many hours per week I need to work on that specific project, who is with me, um, so what I'm going to deliver during that process, what I will learn during the process, what are the things that I don't want to do in any occasion looking at that specific project. So those things helped me to try to understand and look for side projects. So every time I work close to a community, a tech community, I was always thinking about, okay, I'm gonna do more project, more event execution, or more. I'm gonna do the work on the calendar. I'm gonna play more in organizing events, or I'm gonna go for finding new people or bringing new people to the community, or maybe I'm gonna go for copywriting because I'm gonna write the posts or share the information about events. So if you look for different opportunities we have to play in communities, we can track and we can go for specific types of work where we can enhance our skills. So I always try to look for communities in that way, and I also so I consider that one of the options to create side projects. That's the way I usually create new skills, and the way that I get better in one of the skills I already consider that I have, and I want to enhance it. There's one important thing I'm not talking a lot here, but more important than you deciding skills that you want to grow, it is more important to understand the skills that you don't want to grow. You need to be very clear about things that you want to be a mediocre person doing that. So I have lots of skills that I don't want to develop them. I need to make sure I have people with those skills in my projects. So I need to have someone with those skills to help me in those projects that I don't want to play with those skills. So this is important. If you work on the team building side, you're gonna have to check that and make sure you have the people you need to play, in the project. So I started thinking about projects, and but one thing started happening to me. I was losing a lot of money, let's say that, because I want to run the projects and I want to make it happen. So if someone needs money to make it happen, and I was using my own money, I wasn't practicing the work as the sponsorship person to get money to do the events. So I start changing that to make sure that all the projects I'm running, they have or they have a specific amount of money that they can use, or I will find a business model that can support the project along the way. So these are This is very clear for me right now. For a moment in my life, it wasn't. So I was like spending money in different stuff just to make it happen. It was helping me to learn new stuff. I consider that positive, but you should be able, or you could be able to learn new stuff and have a stability in your project. So that's one of the things I'm working a lot right now. Always thinking about projects that are only using my time, or projects that need money. I need to make sure that they are sustainable, or they have a limited amount of money to be spent. So this is very important for me. But when I look at side projects that are going to help me to grow a specific skill, I look at content projects that could be blogs, or podcasts, or a video channel, or articles I can write to a portal, or translations I can do from things in other languages to Portuguese, for instance. So those are examples of things that I can do if I want to get better in one of my skills. I don't usually send a participating call for papers like anymore, but since the launch of TDC with the English tracks, I'm sending lectures in every edition, because I want to practice my English while I'm lecturing about something. So it is a project for me to enhance my skill, or practice my skill in doing some sort of impromptu. And actually, I don't have slides. I have a mind map that I use to work on my talks. So this is the guide that I use to talk to you right now. But it is. I'm trying to. I said a lot of things that wasn't exactly written here. So I'm working in my impromptu stuff. So how can I play with that? So this is a project, and this is one of the tasks inside that project to enhance my skills while speaking. So this is one example. So you can go for different opportunities. You can think about things you can do that you can use to enhance your skills. So what I'm saying a lot here is that we can focus on skills, and we can do that inside the companies that we work for, or outside in projects that we can create. So it's kind of easy. You need to find people who are engaged in the same subject that you are, and you can start building something with them. Or you can, if you want to give back. I always say that if you need to give back, you got too much. So you have always to pay it forward. You got an opportunity, you pay it forward. So you don't have to give back anything. So, but there are opportunities like you can be available to lecture in communities, or do free events, or get close to users groups you like. So there are lots of opportunities like that you can do locally, or even you can help groups that are abroad, and you can help them in some sort of a technical skill you already have, and you want to develop a new thing, and you can use that project to do that. So open source projects are always good opportunities. So you can create documentation, you can create examples, you can help localize documentation to your language. It's like reading Portuguese some stuff, and I learned from English and I translate it to Portuguese. Give lectures in events like this. So those are opportunities to play with, and even creating new companies. This is could be an opportunity for a side project to develop maybe your entrepreneurial side, like I'm gonna be a CX something, and I'm gonna build a new company. Maybe it can become a startup, or even if not, I can just use it to develop my product skills, and how do I play with uncertainty, and how can I try something different in the market. So there are lots of opportunities where you can choose a skill or choose projects and make a mix of those things, and try to become better. So the way I I see why we should not be always too close to job descriptions is maybe you get too specific that how can you gonna find new stuff to do? But I'm sure then whatever things you do, there are skills in there available, like project management, people management. You have like a program management. Maybe it's a lot of complex things you have to take care about. A lot of negotiation. So you can find patterns of those things in other places. So you can do that check in every moment in your life and say, what I do here, can I do this in other places? you know oh, but I'm working with very specific program language. Not a problem, because you are developing software, so you can have skills in other languages. But the thing is, are you developing software? Are you building new products? Are you doing stuff? And after you know a couple of languages, learning new languages is not that hard. So, though you can play with. Um, but I think about those things in a very structured way. Like I start thinking about, what do I want to learn? Where I will learn this? So sometimes I decide to build a brand new side project. Sometimes I decide to do something in one of the companies I work for. Um, so that thing I was talking before about doing live events and things like that, I have decided to create what's new in the product in one of the companies I work for. And we do like a monthly event where I connect to customers to share what's happening with the product. So that was a way for me to practice my skill while presenting something more specific, not the things I usually talk about. Agile and software development is more related to the product, talking to customers. That can be a way that I can play with the management of the live event. I can connect to customers. I can help the company, help the team to create new content and things like that. So to me is always a question of, what do I want to learn, where I will learn, and then I build a project around that. So what can I do in that context to connect the skills I want to grow for some specific place, and let's see what can I build in this situation. So this is my process, like a continuous process where I'm able to play in that way. um, and I, I I say that I like to think that I need to get better in things that I am already good at. So, like I said before, I choose the things that I don't want to be good at, and that's fine. I don't fight that. It's okay. I am okay not being good doing X, not a problem. But I want to be good at doing this specific thing here. So I want to learn more. I'm going to find mentors. I'm going to find projects. I'm going to find ways for me to get better doing, to be able to practice that thing more and more. So um, podcast could be a good example for that. Like I have my own podcast. If you look for anchor.fm/Wildt, you're gonna find my personal podcast. I do all the things in there. For me, it's a good opportunity to learn how to do things all by myself. Okay, but I'm not a podcast expert. But I can do a new podcast. I'm gonna record one episode today at night. And in this podcast, I'm not the producer. I'm just one of the hosts. And I have someone with all the producer skills. And I learn a lot from that person. How do you build a script? How can you build the sections of the episode? How can you do post-production? How can we think about a season? And how do you structure that? So for me is an opportunity to learn more about the craft of building a podcast with someone that is, it's paid to do the whole thing. It's natural for them to do that. And I have the opportunity to learn on the job. I learn while I'm building, I'm doing the thing. So to me, it's very important to find projects where I can learn new stuff, and I can also share some part of my knowledge while I'm doing that. But I'm always thinking about it's not just running a project. There's always the question for me what I am learning. This is very important for me when I'm running a project. So to me, it's always thinking about the best skills I have and how I'm going to grow those skills. And in Portuguese, I use the word trabalhabilidade. In English, would be some like a workability. So how do I play with my workability? If I lose one of the jobs I have today, what will I do tomorrow? Will I enhance some of the hours I have in project A? Will I try to find new customers for project C? How will I fill my time? If I want to fill my time, maybe I just wanna, gonna play some drums and, do something different. But it's I have the opportunity to choose maybe what I want to do, or things like that. So so that's why I wanted to share with you why you should focus on your skills and not on job descriptions. So that is my presentation to you, and I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be here.